Hello, Emmy. So nice to meet you. I have been seeing your work and following your work, and I love the work that you're doing. Will you be able to introduce yourself to the viewers?
Definitely. Hello, everyone. My name is Emmy Vadnais. I am an occupational therapist. I'm an intuitive healer. I'm a writer, a consultant, and a teacher. I teach continuing education to healthcare professionals on integrative health, wellness, and prevention.
I read that you also do aromatherapy. So, is there something like, and I know that smell is the sense that really, it's a straight, what you call a sensory input that has no filters. It straight away reaches the brain. So, is there something that you feel that parents can use that will calm a child? Are there certain specific senses or certain essential oils or a regular natural herb? Is there something that you can give general suggestions on?
Yeah, and that's a really great point about aromatherapy. So it's true. Scent or smell goes right to the limbic system, the emotional aspect of our brain. It bypasses the cortical regions, the thinking regions. So you don't have to go to those senses. It's immediate. So we might have a favorite flower that maybe grew in the garden when we were a child, and when we smell it, it brings us right back to our childhood home or to a childhood experience. Same with cooking. There might be a dish that your mother or father or grandparent prepared. And when you smell it, it just brings you right back to that experience and might be very comforting for you. So, same with essential oils, which is the essence of the plant. And I would say, yes, there's a whole science that we don't have enough time to get into here with aromatherapy. And I think that it's something, I wrote an article actually on holisticot.org. Well, it was in Advanced Magazine for OT, but it's now on holisticot.org. And the articles there about aromatherapy, you might want to read that because it talks about the safety precautions with using essential oils. But for the scent part of it, I think that with a child, I think when they're in a calm state or relatively calm state, maybe having them smell a couple different essential oils. One that's often used is lavender. I also really think that some of the citrus scents, like orange, can be really uplifting, and that's a nice familiar scent. A lot of people like to eat oranges, and see what kind of essential oil your child likes and enjoys, so that maybe if you're in a car ride or if you're at the store, they can maybe smell that, and maybe it can be put on a cotton ball in a little baggie, and it can be something that they can smell while you're maybe out and about in the world, or maybe if they are engaging in an activity with schoolwork and they just kind of need something to give them a little bit different sensory input into them, to kind of give them maybe a little bit more regulation or more pleasure, that's something that they can access. So I think that while yes, some people think it's prescriptive, that there's just one or a couple different essential oils that work for everybody. I think that yes, there are some that have science behind that, but I do think that in my experience, I tend to kind of on a basic level just go for what scent do people find pleasurable and have them enjoy that. Again, I think that everybody has to, gets to explore different scents. And then I think that diffusing is wonderful. I think that um, if you're diffusing in a room, because whomever goes into that room is going to smell that scent, you just want to make sure it's not offensive to other people. And so if you're in your own home, and you're the parent, and I would just make sure that the child likes the scent. And if you find that it's something that can be calming for them, which is why people use lavender a lot of the times, then by all means you can go ahead and diffuse that. I think that getting breaks, maybe not having the diffuser going 24/7, but maybe having breaks, or some people will diffuse maybe in the evening to kind of calm down for sleep. And I know I've heard that rosemary is supposed to be good for alerting. And so if there's a child who maybe uh, has a little bit more lethargy or a little bit more fatigue, that maybe trying some of those more stimulating scents to see if that helps. There's even some research that it can help with memory. So because it helps with attention. So I think that I don't know if there's hard and fast science in all of this, and I think we do need more research in some of these areas. But those are some of the studies that I've seen so far.
Emmy, can you talk about these bath salts? What exactly are these and why do we do them? How does it help?
Well, salt is a very cleansing property. And I think that with essential oils or aromatherapy, people often put the liquid essential oil into a salt or Epsom salt or baking soda and put that into their bath water because it can be very cleansing, it can be relaxing. There are properties thought to be anyway in salt and in um, some of those like Epsom salts that can help that are thought to help penetrate the muscles and can be very soothing for people. And again, I think that, coming from, we're sensory beings, we're always filtering our experiences through our senses. And so most people find it very relaxing and soothing to have that in their bath water. And also, you can soak your feet that way. Another carrier for essential oils, which I don't use, but some people have used, is milk or powdered milk. But I think that the salt is nicer because it's cleaner and it probably helps the bath tub itself, not have as much residue as well. And it's an
I,
easy control.
I did not understand. Have milk. Is that what you're saying? Milk.
Yeah, because it helps disperse the essential oil throughout the water.
Oh, okay, okay. And when you say we can put the child can put the feet in the water or the adult can do that, how long do they keep their feet in the water? How much salt do they take? How do they know all of it then?
Well, again, this gets down to the science, and that's why I was suggesting that article that I recommended, because for children, you would use less essential oil than you would for an adult. And so with bath salt, you can use anywhere from maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon, all the way up to some people will use a quarter cup or a half cup. My apologies for my measurements. They're probably not the same for everybody listening. um, but so maybe in ounces, maybe like anywhere from an ounce to 4 ounces, maybe. Mhm.
Okay. And how long do they, soak their feet or how
Oh, right.
long?
You asked that question. Apologies. Yeah, so the length I would say is, anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour at the most. I mean, I suppose at that point the bath water might start getting a little cool. And your skin might start kind of, change in structure and you might want to get on to other activities.
Yeah. Emmy, I do emotional freedom techniques. I mean, that's one of the things that I do, and I see that you also do it. And I have heard your interview. You did surrogate work also, right? Using EFT. I would like to know your experience.
With EFT in general or doing surrogate or
Both ways. Your experience and how does it help for people who don't know what it is? If you can give a basic idea about what it is and how it can help us to calm ourselves down in some little brief, if you can.
yes, so EFT is emotional freedom technique. It's using acupressure points combined with cognition, thoughts, and energy psychology. So it's very simple. And essentially, a person can tap on these various points that correlate with the acupuncture meridians that are all these energy channels that go to all of the organs in the body that connect with emotions and have all these beautiful metaphors. But essentially, when we are stressed or if we have any type of physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual challenge in our life that's being impacted by stress, our energy can become blocked in those areas in our mind, body, spirit. And so by using tapping or EFT, we can help to open up those channels. And yes, I've used EFT with a lot of people. I've seen it open up so many conditions, many different physical conditions, people dealing with mental health, anxiety, trauma, depression. And I've used it somewhat with children, mostly with adults. I've used it with many adults who also have children, caring for children, and also adults caring for loved ones, older adults as well. I've seen it do nothing but good for people because it can help. Again, if we go back to that premise that when we're in a more relaxed, emotionally regulated state of consciousness, we can see more clearly, which is really where mindfulness comes from Vipassana, the Buddhist meditation. That literally means clear seeing. Um, and so when we can see more clearly, we can shift the ways. I kind of think of it as sort of like mental knots that keep us kind of tripped up, and that when we can use EFT and bring a statement related to, so for example, a statement might be, even though I have a child who has a lot of temper tantrums, then you pair it with a positive phrase, I deeply and completely love and accept myself, you start to shift the physiology in your mind, your body, spirit, and then your stress levels come down and you can see a new path forward. And this is where you can connect with your own intuition and insight. And it's a beautiful experience. And I would imagine you've had this happen as well with clients when you're guiding them in EFT, where they get new flashes of insight spontaneously. Have you seen that happen?
Yeah, yeah, very often. And I use EFT a lot surrogately, where parents first, I mean, first work with the parents, and then we do surrogate work where parents are tapping into the awareness of their child. And it
Mhm.
really, really helps. It really helps to get a good insight, the perception, the perspective, the way they see the behavior or anything about the child changes. There's a transformation, rather.
Yes, definitely. And that's what's so beautiful about using intuition, which is what energy healing is really all about, is you're connecting with intuition, that you can get these awarenesses and insights that when we are in normal waking consciousness state, we tend to skip by. We tend to not be able to access that more fully. I've also used EFT with clients when if they have a as a surrogate with pets or animals, and that's a great way also for helping those as well.
Yeah. So, Emmy, can you tell me something about your book? What does intuitive development mean? What is it that we can learn from your book? What does it have?
Yes, well, intuition, I believe, is a gift, an ability that we're all born with. I think some people may have more of a natural inclination toward it. I think that children are very intuitive, and it's something that is often trained out of children unless they have a family member or an environment that cultivates that. And I think that intuition is it's described really as our own inner knowing, our own inner wisdom. And again, going back to that idea or premise that we are all interconnected, we have the ability to know information without rational thought. Sometimes it can come in a flash, like a lightning bolt. Sometimes it can come in dreams. Sometimes it's a feeling we have when we first meet somebody. Or maybe it's a sense of, is choice A or choice B better? And so with intuitive development, it's kind of interesting because I think that it's actually more of an intuitive uncovering. It's really a way to help you get to that inner knowing within yourself so that you can trust yourself more, have more confidence within yourself, make better choices in your life, and ultimately experience greater joy, peace, love, contentment with greater meaning and purpose. And so many of the activities I describe in there, I've been using for years myself. They were taught to me by my teachers. I use them when I'm teaching clients I work with, and also healthcare professionals who then use these techniques with their clients as well.
So, your book has techniques on how to uncover intuition. Have I understood it correct?
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I also have a YouTube channel as well. And so many of the techniques are written out in the book. And also, I have many of those recorded for free on YouTube as well. So if you're not able to access the book, I'm in the process of making more videos, and I have many of those meditations already recorded, but I'll be making more videos to talk about ways to develop your intuition. But essentially, it's quieting the mind. It's being able to get centered within yourself and to regulate those emotions and find that peace and joy within ourselves.
Mhm. Sounds great. I would put the link of your YouTube channel in the description so that people who are listening can click on it and they can see the exercises.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Can you give us some more details about yourself on reaching you?
Yeah, so I have two websites. My own practice website is emmyvadnais.com, EMMYVADNAIS.com. And then I have holisticot.org, which is mostly for healthcare practitioners, but I think parents could get a lot of valuable information on there as well. The blog has been very active for, gosh, I think nearly 10 years. And so there's a lot of great information on there for people to access as well. And that's holisticot.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for the wonderful suggestions. They were really helpful.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And I wish everybody the greatest joy and peace in life.